How's it going, Laser Bruce? Is up, Bobby Sixkilla, and welcome back to Birth Me Code. Now we've got a few new areas to check out that we can actually get to. We're going to start here and then we're going to work into these splits if we have time. But first, let's just jump in here and see what's going on. We get into the end game here. And Cora did not act. The gunshot was nigh instantaneous and a hole appeared into Superbia's helmet near the middle of her symbol. Almost immediately, her body crumpled down. The tall bunny girl's helmet exploded, causing everyone to step back in the midst of the dust. Her headless body remained among the group against the wall, onto its knees, like a macabre result of Ancora's inaction. What? What was... only Ancora didn't react to it, far too shocked to do anything about it. Instead, her body crumpled, much like Superbia's, right into Avaricia's arms, which weren't there to hold her anymore. The teacher had taken a step back in fright, which meant Ancora hit the cold, hard floor. She pulled herself up with her arms, almost immediately after giving a howl of pain. While sat up, her gaze, through the helmet's cameras, were fixated upon the corpse of the confrontational girl. The dead body would haunt her thoughts for the next hours, perhaps even days or weeks. It was a thing, no longer a person. Tristidia looked at the group and then stored the gun back into his pants. There. Now the danger is averted and our time is safe. There will be peace. It took a moment for the whole group to regain their senses. By then, it was already 5 past the hour. They only had 55 more minutes before everyone would surrender their right to live. We need to reform the teams. We have rooms to explore now. Are you all aware of this? But you just shot her dead. That was the plan, yes? Luxuria looked over at Ancora, who had risen back to her feet. She replied with a slight shrug, a little like an apology for failing to carry out the plan exactly as convened. I don't think we can solve the rest of the rooms on our own, though. I guess we need to split up the group like... Ancora alone, myself alone, and you two others together. That's the only way to have a fighting chance in what's coming, I think. No, there's another solution. Out of nowhere, Invidious' voice rang. He was in the hallway with them, walking in from the direction of the crossroads. Vidi? She finally spoke up, the shock of seeing him again fully pulling her out of her stupor. Everyone reacted as surprised by his appearance as she was. I didn't have a lot of time to explain just yet. First, we need to form groups to explore rooms. We're all still looking for me cards, right? I still have mine. No, I don't know where the rest are. Yes, I know how to escape now. Yes, me made a mistake. Well, I can't just behead him now. It would look too suspicious. I wonder why it didn't work earlier. Which means that currently our highest priority is to solve the next rooms and get the next cards. He noticed the dead body on the ground. He didn't settle onto it too much, despite clearly being none too happy about it. 3 rooms. 5 people left instead of 4. We can make it work by having 2 groups of 2. I know I can solve the rooms alone, so who's going to be in each team? All of them pondered on it for a very short time. With Invidious' sudden return, they forgot about the clock again. It was soon going to hit the 10-minute mark, past the hour. If a room took them a full 39 minutes to solve, they had to move soon. And there needs to be 2 deaths this time. Only 3 survivors, no more than that. That is what the game has been set up to be. I can't change the rules this far in. The next death must include the traitor. Normally I go back and change the lineup, but this time let's just make it simple. Cora, you're with me. Ava and Lux, go. Avaricia and Lux took a glance at Tristidia, torn between leaving while the teams were in their favour and asking Invidia for details instead. No one wants to be grouped with the killer, huh? That's hilarious, coming from them both. The latter option won, and Avaricia demanded some explanations. Okay, but first, what were you doing, Vidi? No time. I'll take the room furthest down the hallway. We're very soon at the 6 hours mark, and we need to find way more me cards still. If we don't find them, we'll all die. I get that, but at least a little answering wouldn't hurt. You're not dead even if me said you would be. What did you do? We can all do it, and never suffer punishment. No, we can't do it. It was a mistake in the first place. I'm sure if we plan to do it, all of us, then we get beheaded this time around. If you really want to know, I found the exit. but we can't take it until we have all of those 9 strange keys. He showed us one of his own. It was the key Ankura traded to him before. There's a metal plate you can open by pressing in specific spots next to the stairs leading to the voting machines. Behind that is a room that's seemingly cut off from radio and mechanism interference. The moment I made it through, I was cut off from all communication. If we go there, we're no longer reachable, but I don't think we are supposed to know that place existed until we put all the me cards in. Is it a problem? If we go in there, then we can't get beheaded, like... She pushed her foot towards Bia's corpse. The first time was a random chance, Lux. I stumbled onto it and Pandora must not have seen me. Now Pandora knows. Whatever's monitoring that place will be looking at it much more closely. Luxuria eventually gave up and went away with Avaritia. The old woman pulled Luxuria over into the nearest room on the side, closing the door to start solving the deduction room. Everyone else saw fit to drop the topic for now too. After the two were gone, Invidious spoke about his departure again to expand on one of his thoughts before the three would split up. What baffles me most is this. He pulled out a second me card. There was a me card in that room. I think we're supposed to figure it out early, somehow, even though it's clearly off limits. I don't understand what the mastermind is thinking. Anyway, we have our groups ready, right? Cora, you with Trist? I guess that's fine by me. Scared? I don't have any reason to shoot anymore. Not yet anyway, till the vote. Sudden thought caused him to pause in the middle of his speech. Until the vote. We'll all die at 6 hours, right? Why does it matter? Well, if we fulfill all the conditions by 6, this means 6 of us must die. But if you don't fulfill the conditions, then it doesn't matter. Nobody else has to die then. In fact, the bomb is going to kill us all, notwithstanding. Right, well, we should hurry anyway. Let's talk about this after we're still alive at 40 minutes. 39 minutes. Yeah. Don't look too much at the details, or your world might come undone. He waved, departing from the two of them shortly thereafter. Tricidia and Ankura remained alone. Deciding to not waste any time, the horse wearer walked toward the other nearest door, as Invidia had gone for the one furthest away. I wonder if he's really going to be fine doing it alone. If he doesn't leave, everyone's in deep mud. Ankura followed after him, and soon they stepped into a strange room. This is new. It was one of the many classrooms on the outer edge of Wing A, but what was inside was clearly not a classroom at all. It was very spacious and had 2 large cylinders spanning floor to ceiling. They were both adorning a lot of the mechanisms and cogs, as well as a long wire connecting to them. Smaller cylinders guarded the entire room alongside them. Due to the strange nature of the room, the 2 people in it barely had any time to take in its weird appearance before me appeared to them again. At exactly 39 seconds on the dot, both their visions were taken by her, while the door locked itself. This is a very important room. The question you will have to answer in this room, however, is for you and you alone. If you give the answer to anyone outside of this room, you will immediately surrender your right to live. Do you understand? This knowledge is for your group and no one else. This particular room's question is, who is your true enemy? There is a true enemy which opposes me, you and everyone else. All of you here have been gathered for a specific reason. No, it is not to kill that enemy, which you won't be able to do, ever. Figuring out the true enemy is part of the deal too, even if you'll never be able to fight it. Not now or ever. That is because, while it is your true enemy, it is not one you are meant to oppose, even though we must oppose it, otherwise our end spells doom for the entire world. I wonder if you can truly understand me. We will know what you believe in soon, but for now, I'll see you later. The entire speech was as short as the previous one. The two in the room decided to ignore the cryptic words, as they had to hurry, with Tricidia taking the lead despite his apparent uneasiness. So it's not a person that's the true enemy then. Let's go then. This looks like some kind of reactor. How can you tell? Just a hunch. It's probably a fake anyway. What is there to power in here? Dunno. But I wonder a lot more about what me meant by true enemy. I don't remember setting this up. A true enemy is the traitor, no? The The true enemy is their individual sins, right? Surely. Alright, we got a lot to look at over here. Lots of boxes that make me think of tic-tac-toe. I don't think we're supposed to use them for that, though. There's stuff inside, various objects, a lot of trash, too. Yeah, these are ripped squares of cloth, duct tape, a copy of Avril Lavigne's newest album. Which one is that? Under My Skin? Oh, I already have that one. You got trash and you're proud of it, to boot? Hey, I like it. None of my business anyway. There's a lot of stuff in here. One thing stands out. In one of the boxes is a metal gear. Metal gear? Seems like the kind of thing we'd need in a room like this. Let's carry it. There's also a key in the same box. Good thing I took this gear, or I would never have seen it. You remove the key, showing it to Ancora. That's the key to access the second room. There's nothing else here it would unlock. Oh, that was all the boxes. Okay, we've done that. So all the boxes are one thing. Okay, this tube thing then. This is said to contain acid. There's also a strange floating part in there. We probably need to get it out, but how? So the cylinder has an output. Guess we need to find something to suck all of that acid out. I wonder how that part inside isn't melting right out. It's probably just not acid for real. More evidence toward the fact that this is all a fake contraption. Maybe. These tubes look really high-tech. This makes me wonder if we're still in the present, because it's sure starting to look like we're hundreds of years in the future right now. We're in the present still, don't worry. Everything here looks impossible because it is. Nothing but replicated hardware if I had to guess. He shoved his hand against the side of one of the tubes. The mechanism pushed up, sinking against the wall some. See, it's really not heavy. Sure looks like it from here. Ancora tried to do much of the same with another one, but that one wasn't having any of it. The annoyance she felt due to her failure in lifting this fake object made Tristidia laugh. Hey, don't be mean like that. Sorry. Didn't mean it that way. I guess you're still a girl, huh? What does that even mean? I guess I just have more muscle mass, that's all. Ancora stared at him for a moment. He understood what she was implying, raising his hand defensively in front of himself, as though denying that thought. Hey, who's the mean one now? This looks daunting. I better keep this for when I have an idea of what to do with it. Like if I found the elements to work out a code or another, a panel at the top takes 4 numbers, so... This is a big thing with a lot to see on it. What should I investigate? Oh my god. The status. The indicator says status stable. As if it could go haywire if you mishandled it or something. We'd have cause to concern if it was real, but we already established it's not. It's good to deceive yourself like that, Tristidia, but don't hide from the truth. The reactor looks like a fake, but so far it's pretty real. Still makes me wonder how this came to be. The number? It's 39, like the number of me cards we need to get. Or the number of minutes we have to explore these rooms. Or the number 30 and 9 put together. Or the letters C and I together if you take them as being 3 and 9 mashed together. Or is there anything else it could represent? Well, in Japanese the numbers 3 and 9 are san and kyo, which sort of sounds like thank you when you put together like that. That one's the most ridiculous of the bunch. The machinery? Looks like the gear we found goes in here. Let's put it in. Careful, there's a grid over it. We have to open it first. But Ancora just jammed her hand into it, yanking it out afterwards. The grid hadn't been electrocuted or anything, and it very easily came off at the expense of Ancora's hand, which was now bleeding a little. Ouch! What did you think would happen? He shook his head, sliding the gear inside and attaching it to the pole. Soon the gears began spinning together. What they did wasn't clear. Got anything for this cut? One of those boxes in the back has some. You're in luck. Too much luck. The two of them left the reactor alone to go patch up Ancora's hand. You really ought to be more careful. We're dealing with potentially dangerous hardware here. Not that it's really a reactor, since I believe it's a fake, but a fake can still hurt. Hey, I'll be fine. It's just a tiny cut. Out of anyone, I feel like Tristidia has the least amount of right to speak about being cautious. Well, at least that helped us, since I just found this piece of paper too. It was lodged between 2 gears. He held it up to her. Ancora read it aloud. But we're missing 15 of them. 15 of what? The me cards. Wait, what's missing? I'm not sure. I think this number may be important though. We're missing 15 me cards. This is some circular opening. Maybe a tube goes in here or something. Or it's an output? Let's be on the lookout for a tube then. The right panel? This looks broken. No, it doesn't just look broken. I'm pretty sure it is broken. Something's missing inside, and I can screw the panel back into it. What's your verdict? Let's come back after we find whatever it is that's missing, and something to screw the panel back in. I don't think whatever it does will work unless it's fixed. Not to mention the console in the ceiling needs to be properly operated first. Okay. This room? Since the two of them had found the key, it was ridiculously easy to get access to the second room. It took only a second to twist the key into the lock. And now, we can move further in. Go on then. Oh my god. It's more of this crap. I want this. Look, it's a big tube. We can take it between rooms as needed. Think you can carry it? I feel like we should just leave it here until we find a purpose for it. It's a little cumbersome. Alright then. Now we know it's here at least. Well, we already know where that goes, don't we? I have to wonder if why these boxes are strewn about. They don't contain much of anything in general, just random knickknacks. He addressed Ankura as she approached the boxes. Some of them were open, others were still shut tight. From what she could see of each, he wasn't wrong. They didn't contain anything spectacular. You'd think these things would be used to carry dangerous stuff. Like what? Like a gun? Maybe if you want to believe that. No, I don't wanna. Speaking of, what are you gonna do with yours? Justidia still had the gun in his pocket. Ankura could see the handle sticking out the whole time. I don't know yet. Shoot people probably. I'd rather only carry it for protection. But it's just as obvious it should be used in case of emergency. And we're in an emergency. Well, okay then. But that reminded me about the word emergency. What about it? It makes me think of emergence, even though both of them have nothing to do with each other. Specifically, emergence is when two things interacting together have something neither have alone. You lost me a little. I just want to talk about the emergency exits. What do you mean? Ankura was starting to wonder if all of this was truly needed, but at this point, she just had to pursue the topic. Otherwise, she could be seen as impolite or testing his patience. And it's not like she wanted to test a guy who had a gun. I don't think he'd shoot over it. It's safer this way, I guess. Take a person and a bicycle. The person can run, but there's no smooth forward momentum. Meanwhile, the bicycle can provide that movement, but it can't do it on its own. Hence, the emergence happens when both combine and fulfill that. There are other examples out there, but this is the simplest one to digest, I think. It's a little like how a pencil can write, but only if your body, which can't write without a tool, makes use of it. Or when wind creates waves on the surface of the water. Like that, yeah. Or like when your television alone can't display the channel, but with the signal coming from a small terminal used to relay it, like a satellite, you can watch TV. So a little like these helmets, since they display what's outside of them. No, not like the helmets. We can see without the helmets. You're right. Well, that was interesting, but we have to get moving, I think. Sure, and by the way, I found a clipboard between two of these boxes. He quickly checked what was written on it. Something about experiments? Something about pairs. The number 2 is all over this thing. 2 reactors. And it says to multiply all 3 numbers together. What could that mean? Maybe it's for a code or another. They kept it with them for convenience's sake. As you do. The large empty cylinder stood alone, separated from the rest of the reactor. It didn't look like it had a purpose. Despite that, Ankura pushed her hand against the surface. Look, my hand's flattened against it and my skin turns white. That's because blood isn't going through your hands anymore. You did much of the same to show it to her with concrete proof, but your hands aren't changing. Really? Guess I know less than I like to. Toot my own horn over. I'm even just a little too fat. Ugh. Compared to the other reactor, which was in a lamentable state, this one doesn't look broken at all. It doesn't need any repairs that I can tell. Yeah, it's a little too complex for me to mess with anyway. I think it's in our best interest if we left it alone. Good. This room is an almost perfect replica of the previous room. It's got the same kind of things around, like these tubes. 2 reactors. Maybe one's a fake and the other's real. Or maybe they're both fake. I still don't think that this is a real reactor. I've seen this place before, you know, and it's not here. Where did you see it? Somewhere my father worked at. They had this large red cross-like emblem affixed above the door, and there were a bunch of gruff guys doing experiments. He took me there once, their yearly bring your kid to work day. He doesn't work there anymore though. He'd been working there for a long time, before that, and I still don't know why he left. The pay was apparently really good. Difference of interests? Maybe a clash of morals. Science can sometimes be a little, you know, maybe. Not that I'll know even if I asked him now. And Cora had a bad feeling over it. She decided to change the subject, figuring that he was dead or something like that. Anybody who quits from something as shady as that probably ends up dead. So anyway then, this is a replica of the reactor over there. Yeah, I'd only seen it through the window, but I remember it mesmerized me. It marked me, and I would know what this is even after another 20 years without seeing it. These things are in constant movement though. Now they're not moving. The reactor is a lot less monstrous than my memories, but that's because it's a fake, and thus not active. He gave a light shove onto one of the strange metallic structures. Something broke from it and rolled away onto the ground. See? It's falling apart on its own. Wait, that's not part of the mechanism. And Cora reached for it, finding that it was a coin. Maybe this is useful. Let's keep it with us. Who knows if we'll need it here. And if we don't, then we're just a little richer. And risk losing your head? I wouldn't take anything out of these rooms, unless they're from the safes that contain our me cards. Yeah, it's probably a better idea. Turns out, there's no tricking him into doing it and eliminating him that way, huh? Really, that was the plan? That seems like a bad plan. Where does this door go? Okay, we have to answer the question for that door. So now we can put the pipe and things in, right? Left panel. I can put the tube we found in here. Seems like it's just long enough to connect with the other output, too, between the side panel of the reactor and this glass cylinder. Let's see what happens. After connecting the both of them together, the transparent cylinder drained itself of its acid. All of it was sucked out through the tube into the reactor's shell. The only thing left in the tube after another minute was that weird part. Think it's safe to get it out? Just let it leak out for a few and come back to it later. It's probably fine to take now. Having waited a few, the two of them disconnected the tube, and the strange piece of hardware came out seemingly undamaged from the acid it was drowning inside of prior. You really think it was acid? Probably not. Couldn't take any chances anyway. After the two of them reconnected the tube with the cylinder, the acid was pumped back into it in order to revert it to its previous state. Then they pocketed the item and discarded the tube back into the other room, no longer having any use for it. What do we do with that thing? The right panel, can we do something there now? This looks broken. Not just broken. What's your verdict? Okay, we got nothing to fix that with. Machinery, well, that's already good now. Fully functional. Status? Stable. Same as last time. Alright, we need to find something else to click on then, don't we? Can we do anything up here yet? I can reach this cable easily enough, but the box at the top is far too high. I guess you'd need a ladder to reach it. Just that he didn't bite, no matter how much Ankura willed him to. No one wants to talk about ladders. Let's just stop that entirely and focus. Too bad we don't have one. Maybe we have to climb using the cable. With only a slight look at Tristidia, one could deduce he wouldn't be any use climbing a cable this small. It might even cause it to snap and render it unusable. I can try, but I'm not a good climber. Yeah, that's Bea. Good one. Upon trying, Ankura found it a lot easier than she might have assumed. All she had to do was use both her hands and legs to hold onto the cable, and before long, she had managed to bring herself to the top. What does the box do? It's settings. I don't know what we should put them on. It's taking 4 numbers from 0 to 9, but I don't know the combination. Let's put them on whatever you want, I guess. I doubt this will do anything until the cable's plugged in somewhere anyway. The solution has to do with the numbers we found, no doubt. Oh, I can't see my, Where's my items? The 3 numbers we found were 2, 15, and 39. We had to multiply them together, didn't we? 2 times 15 times 39. Jesus, that's a big number, isn't it? 15... 2 times 15 is 30, and 30 times 39 is what? 1170. I guess we'll try that. There you go. The answer was 1170. After putting in the 4 numbers, Ankura came down from the box, sliding along the cable until she was back to the ground. The machine was now giving a low hum. Hey, wait a second. You weren't looking, were you? Looking at what? My panties. Oh no, I don't have any interest in that. Not sure if you meant it that way or if it's a veiled insult. Turning that on, what did that do? The right panel? When the part goes here, Tricidia was already in the process of repairing the panel inside of the reactor. After a few moments, he finished fixing the piece back inside, after which he used the coin they'd found to screw the panel itself back on. A small light lit up, as if confirming it was done correctly. Wow, that was pretty good. I'm impressed. Don't be. I just know a lot about computers because I spent a lot of time on one. You and me both. You do remember I have that website, right? It's just one of the many I own. I'd like to actually get up and do stuff though. That's why a guy named Marco started giving me tutoring on engineering. Marco, huh? We've heard that name before. He came by my home often, so I'd get off my chair and do some menial work. You want to exercise then? Yeah. I'm kind of tired of being the fat boy. No matter what I try though, I don't get slimmer. The shaking of his head was full of sorrow and denial. Anyway, bring me the cable over there. This one? That's right. He connected the cable to the panel. I knew they'd go together. It looked too suspicious. There's still a lot of slack though, and I can't make heads or tails of why. Maybe it's not important, but it's really stuck hard. He tried taking it out to show, but the panel wasn't having any of it. It was very well stuck there, and since that was where it had to go, something's happening. Status time. On the screen on the side of the reactor buzzed and then changed its display. Now instead of showing stable, it was showing time. The cable was also pushed out of its socket, and no matter how much Tricidia tried, it wouldn't go back in. What do you think that means? That's the enemy of us all. Time. I don't know. Looks like a small compartment opened on the side too. They reached inside, taking out a me card and a weird key with the letter T attached to it. There, take that key. He lobbed it at her, and Kura did her best to catch it, but it fell to the ground. She went over to take it, adding it to the rest of her stuff. There are also 2 weird bowls in here. I guess I'll carry them. What are they used for? Beats me. Does it mean we're done here? But what's our answer? Don't we normally get some piece of paper to help us? I think it's pretty obvious. I'll let you think about that then. Then just come to me to open the door. I think you just don't know the answer. Who knows? Not him, apparently. Time is all of our enemies. Here we are then, ready to leave. And not that much time passed either. Definitely good. And about the answer. Do you still not know it? No, I know it. Ankura looked at her hands in slight contemplation. After a minute or so, Tricidia nudged her with an elbow. Too scared to say it? Something like that. You know how we die if we get it wrong. Well, the answer is no, stop, it's fine. I know the answer. A girl's got her own pride to uphold. Let me out. Our true enemy is... time. With a click, the lock came undone. Now they could leave this room. Ankura looked at Tricidia, who returned their gaze, but soon he left with the bowls and the me card, having nothing else to do here. He was also quite eager to leave this place. Ankura also had enough of this reactor, so she stepped out, clutching the keys that she had found in here. That was now not just 1, but 2 keys obtained. A key with the letter A, and with the letter T acquired. It's not looking good for me cards though. Oh well, it'll be time to worry over that later. It will indeed. Ankura and Tricidia waited in the hallway. The timer was reading 35 minutes past the hour, so the other groups were bound to emerge soon. 1 minute later, the door to the nearby classroom opened. Out came Luxuria first, and then Avaricia, who carried her in her arms a shotgun. Figured there was more than one firearm here. There was going to be more akin to insurance than anything else. Insurance? For what? But don't worry, I don't intend to do anything with it, unless we really need it. You're still the guy with the 6 bullets. 5 now. Which is still enough to kill everyone still alive, even myself. Heh. But would you do it? Yes. If the time came to a close? Maybe. Better to end it quickly than make it last out in agony, no? That's what you'd assume, but I don't know. Maybe not. I've never been put in a situation where I have to make that choice. Everyone's way too calm around these guns. They're guns. Inkura's outburst caught everyone's attention. They're firearms. They can kill us if you pull the trigger. Killed, you know? That's the end. You're dead. Why is everyone so calm around them? Maybe it's because today has already been so hectic? Guns aren't so special compared to getting your head, you know, exploded. Yeah, it's probably something like that. Speaking of the situation, where's Viddy? Is he still not out? The timer read 40 past the hour. Soon he was going to run out of time. Hey Viddy, hurry up. You're going to run out of time. The girl walked toward the bend in the hallway, yelling for Invidious to hurry it up. Not only did his survival depend on it, but all of theirs depended on it too, as they needed the me cards inside, and the key from that room as well. Isn't it strange how our rooms only contained 1 me card too? Dracity was showing off the one he had got from the room he explored alongside Ankura. From what the girl called their discussion, it seemed as though Avaritia and Luxuria also only found 1 of them. It doesn't add up. With all these rooms, we're only at 24 cards, but we need 15 more. The group arrived at Invidious' door, and Ankura watched the timer go up. 41 past the hour, 42 past the hour, 43 past the hour, and 44 she banged on the door with both fists. Hey, Invidious, hurry! The rooms aren't really soundproof, so he should be hearing this. Unless he's in the second room. After another minute, Invidious' voice came from inside the room. Sorry, I don't think I'm coming out. What? Are you stuck? We can help, tell us what... No, I'm not stuck. I haven't solved anything in the room so far because I don't want to. What? That's right. I'm staying and dying here, and no one will be able to get the me card from this pair of rooms. That's my choice. You can't just abandon us to die. You're gonna kill how many by doing this selfish act? You'll die too. This doesn't make any sense. Please, Viddy. Why does he want to die so badly like that? I've made up my mind. It doesn't matter for me. I'm dead now. All of us. All of us are dead. And we're gonna save them. But I need to die to break the pattern. You don't mean... Avaricia's tone changed. She was horrified by what he was implying. No, you can't do that. You can't die now. We need you. Sorry, I made up my mind already. I won't be a future pawn. For all I'm concerned, the future can go to hell. The timer read 48. In 1 minute, Invidious was gonna die. Well, there's no point now. With only 1 minute left, he couldn't solve the room anyway. This won't change anything. You're damning all of us. And that was it. Invidious' last words hung heavily in the air as a clunk echoed from inside the room. It was most likely his head falling due to the helmet doing its thing. Well, that was that, I guess. Now we're stuck here. Without that me card, we can't stop the console from killing us all in 11 minutes. Let's go back to the crossroads, or something at least. We can spend the last minutes there sharing information. There's got to be something to do. No one answered Ankura though. As she looked at them, she noticed they all had their shoulders slumped. None of them seemed in any mood to talk or even move. That's why Ankura pulled onto Avaricia's arm, but the woman only grabbed the shotgun she had and pointed it straight at the smaller girl. We're all gonna die now. It doesn't matter what we do. And in fact, you know what? When the bomb inside of that console explodes, it's gonna disintegrate all traces of this place. Everything we did will become a secret. The mood stood still as those words were spoken, and Ankura shook her head, denying what Avaricia was saying. No way, we might still have a chance. I need to get out of here. Think of your relatives. There's got to be someone. I have someone and they're precious to me. Yeah, I had someone. Her tone made it clear she didn't want to talk about it. The question was, when did she no longer have that someone? Was it just now? Was it earlier this day? Was it months ago? I guess it's better than doing nothing anyway. Let's go, group. Ankura took the lead, waving the others over to come with her. There was still stuff they could try. It was better to die trying than go out like a flame in the wind. That noise made her abandon all hope. She froze in her tracks, just like everyone else. Before anyone had the time to move, an explosion came from within the group. Another one of them had lost their life. Normally Ankura would have screamed, but the suddenness of the event left her completely stunned. Fudge nuggets. Can things not go badly for 5 seconds? The blast had also helped in stunning the girl, as she had been sent down to the ground. It took a few seconds for her to rise back up, looking at what had exactly happened. Justidia's body was lying on the ground, like a disarticulated marionette. His head was gone, and from the neck, red spread out. Clear red liquid covered the surface of the floor. It was blood, and his head was gone. The one who held the gun was Luxuria. It appeared she took it from him, before she stuffed her hand into her hoodie's pocket. He was dangerous. And now we have 6 deaths, right? We have 3 left. Avarisha didn't seem to care about shooting her for doing it. Yeah, I suppose so. I guess I won't need my insurance anymore now. She hesitated, about to discard the shotgun she had. It's not like it mattered anymore, since all dangers were gone. But in the end, she chose to keep it, dropping it to her side and carrying it with one hand. And now we can... Ankura saw all of it happen, but she was too surprised to say anything. Luxuria moved forward and aimed a revolver against Avarisha's back. By the time the woman could register what really was happening, the girl already pulled the trigger, again, at point-blank range. Pretty much immediately after, Avarisha collapsed, leaving only Ankura and Luxuria on their 2 feet. Ah, we're gonna die, aren't we? So it doesn't matter if I have my fun. 2 more shots came out, making Ankura scream in pain. This time, 2 bullets were lodged in her leg, making it shudder and shift under her weight until she fell down to her knee. Lux, what are you doing? Oh, stop calling me Lux already. I'm Nico. Nico Hope. That's my full name. In the same instant, Ankura's body hit the ground as the pain became unbearable. Oh, this is clearly bad. I can't do anything about it though. Nico stepped onto Avarisha's fingers to make her release the shotgun before firing again, this time onto her hand, causing her to shriek out in pain. The girl with the revolver kicked the other firearm away. Really sorry, Ava. I truly like you because you're not like everyone else, but I can't have you interrupt this. It's all about Cora and what she did. You're just like all the others, aren't you, Cora? What? What do you mean? Like everyone else, you're always mistaken. Gee, how much of an idiot do you have to be to not get it yet? The small girl walked forward, finding the discernible uncertainty emanating from Ankura rather infuriating. The blonde girl was puzzled over Nico's choice of words. Something didn't add up. It's simple, Cora. I'm not a girl, I'm a boy, idiot. What, you didn't notice it? Just like everyone else, but Ava knows already, though. Cora. I can't move. Watch out. Of course you can't. I'll shot you right in the spinal cord. Your legs are now worthless. Not that it'll matter because we're all gonna die in 10 minutes anyway. Nico grabbed Ankura's helmet and shoved her back into the ground, causing her to emit a loud groan of pure pain. Then she felt Nico grab her arm and pull her along the floor. She kicked with her uninjured leg to fend off her aggressor. Another gunshot sliced through the air, and at that very moment, pain crushed Ankura's poor head. The bullet had gone straight through her hand, fired by Nico to force Ankura to calm down. While the blonde stopped her struggling, she didn't stop shouting. Ah, help! Ava! I can't do anything. Nico dragged Ankura into a side classroom and closed the door. Crud. He must have cracked under pressure. Everyone mistakes him for a she, huh? Guess that plays into his sin a little, even though it just means it would be the opposite way, since mainly guys would try to get into his shorts. You took me for a girl from the beginning, just because I look cute? But I thought you had me figured out earlier, when we were walking toward the voting machines. You saw me staring right at you. And then it didn't change anyway. You still treated me this way, even though you looked like you knew. Boys can be cute too. He set the useless empty revolver aside and then straddled the girl, who wasn't much taller than him. He was all Ankura could see anymore. Nico Hope. The word hope etched itself into her memory, scarring her already. Maybe I'll make you pay for the entire 10 minutes we got left. At least Ava, of everyone else, already knows I'm a boy though. Yeah, she had an affair with a student. Do you believe that? With me. She's a pedophile. That's pretty disgusting, huh? But she was the one who saw me for what I really was. So who was I to judge? Thankfully, she knows how to keep her mouth shut, so I can see for myself if people are shitty. He fooled even me, but it was kinda hard to imagine him otherwise. He did have a feminine voice and appearance. That's actually terrible though. He snapped, and I can't do anything to stop it. Scared? Welcome to the real world, Cora. But I'm generous. You wouldn't actually know what's going on until you die. I just hope you can feel every last bit of this pain I'll give you, for all the pain I endured too. With a loud reverberating noise, he slammed his fist against the side of Ankora's helmet. Within the next moments, everything piling up caught to her. The pain, the noise, the dizziness, and then something else happened, but Ankora didn't catch it too well. There was something like a muffled gunshot, and then there was darkness. Ankora. It means anchor, or figuratively hope. You're being tortured, Ankora. Yes, by someone I trusted before, but by hope? How does it feel to be betrayed? Not so good at all, in fact, it's the worst. That's why you have to end all of this. By catching the traitor? You just have to hope you can do it. Hope I can do it. Ankora like hope. Hope like Nico hope. Nico hope. Hope? Anchor. Ankora. But Ankora woke up. Cora, you okay? A voice was calling to her. Cora breathed hard, breathing fast. She breathed and panted and shuddered and shifted and pulled herself back onto the ground. In the classroom, not too far away, was Nico. He was on the ground too. His head was gone, much like the others before him. It's my fault. I should have seen this coming. Ankora's hands patted herself, looking upon her body, touching to make sure she felt nothing gross. There was nothing. Just the slightest lingering heat from Luxurious sitting on her. The torture hadn't happened. What she hoped for was true. Hope? Hope. Hope. Hope? Hope? Are you okay? It might take a while to get back from it. Unfortunately, we don't have the time. No, no time. No killing. Not anyone. This is my fault. It's all my fault. If only I'd done something. If only I'd stopped her. If only I'd stopped her way before this. And Cora, it's okay. You don't have to worry about them. They're dead now. No, not dead. Not now, not dead. Please. Not her. And Cora didn't say anything else. She was still under shock that someone would do this to her. It was one thing to participate in this already traumatic experience, but this was something else. It was too personal. By one of the girls she trusted the most too. No, it wasn't a girl. It was a boy. A boy who looked like a girl, who dressed up cute, who had been completely different than she expected, who'd snapped to make her pay. Whatever it was, it certainly had worked. Looking at the timer, Ankora despaired. Only 3 minutes remained until her demise. That fact grabbed her to pull her back into reality. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Do we have to do something? There's nothing to do. All we have to do now is sit tight and wait. Ankora noticed Avaricia wasn't standing up. The old woman was still on the ground. At first, she planned to do something, but now she saw no reason to. And besides, she was right. There was nothing else to do now. Is that the end of this path then? This path I've chosen? Just dying with nothing else? There's got to be something else. After all that trauma. So you really can't... But how did you get in here? I pulled myself across the ground. While he was dragging you in here, I was trying my best to reach this door. When he closed it, I thought it was over. I can't reach the handle from the ground. I also took the shotgun with me. I'd kill this little piece of shit if it was the last thing I did. Because I did want to save you. So I used the shotgun to lift myself up to the handle. After a minute or so, I heard him slam your head down, or what I assumed that was. That's when I launched myself to the handle, to twist it and open the door. The door flew open under my weight. He noticed me, stood up and was about to kick the shotgun away when I blasted him almost point blank. I think I got his helmet, since he was beheaded right afterwards. Then I just waited. and you came back to reality a minute ago. Speaking of, time's almost up. Yeah, it almost is. Only 2 minutes remain now, after all of that. If there was anything else, now was the time to ask. And Kura decided to go for the obvious. What's your name then? My name? Oh, I guess... I can say now, it won't matter. My name's Ecofilm. Attain Ecofilm. What? That doesn't sound like a name. And Kura thought about it, since Attain Ecofilm wasn't the name of any teacher she knew. Something was wrong with the name, but she just couldn't put her finger on what. Is that so? That's a really strange name. I've never heard of the Ecofilm family before. Do you want to spend your last minute making fun of my name? Or do you want to give me your name too? Oh, sorry. I guess I can return the favor. My name's Penmill. And my first name? Something flashed inside of Ankura's head, interrupting her words. Something like a set of directives. Trustidia directives acquired. And that was it. A single sentence flashed through her head. She attributed it to the last moment insanity, while Attain said something she only caught the last part of. Penmill. Penmill? That's your last name, isn't it? I've only ever seen 2 names like that. A short pause followed. The timer hit 6 hours. And now we're all dead again. Darkness followed, and then there was nothing. Ta-da! Well, that turned into a long episode. We're obviously going to wrap this one up here, and in the next one we're going to have to... I assume that might have opened up one of the locked areas, seeing it said the Trustidia directives were acquired. So one of the locked areas will come up where we have to make friends with Trustidia. But we'll do that in the next one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Thanks again out for me, and I'll see you in the next one.